Hello, my name's Julia and I like books. Before we begin, if you think you see white in my bangs, it's because there is white paint in my bangs. I have had it there for about 3 days. I can't get it out. It's just gonna take time. I've been helping a friend renovate a kitchen and I accidentally stuck my head in some white paint. I don't know how it happened, but it did. And I have white in my hair now. I've been trying to get it out. It's not all out. There's a little bit left. If you see it, congratulations, good for you. You have an astute eye. So in January, I released part 1 of my bookshelf tour, link in the description if you're interested. In it, I covered books A through M in my bookshelf, and now we're going to go through N through Z, although in this case it's N through Y because I have no authors that begin with Z. So before we begin, I have to say I was going through my bookshelf the other day and I realized there are 3 books from my original bookshelf tour that I just did not put in, so we're gonna go over them today. The first one is Painting for Peace in Ferguson by Carol Swartout Klein. This is actually a signed copy. I got it from her when I was on tour with 26 Pebbles last summer. She wrote me a lovely little message. I can't tell if you can read that. There we go. The next 2 are also picture books. They are Katie Meets the Impressionists and Katie and the Mona Lisa by James Mayhew. Now we've got that out of the way, let's move on with the next 13 letters of the alphabet. First, we have Long Day's Journey into Night by Eugene O'Neill. Following that, we have Animal Farm and 1984 by George Orwell. Next, we have Fight Club by Chuck Palahniuk. Palahniuk? I'm not sure. Then we have The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. The Story of King Arthur and His Knights, and The Merry Adventures of Robin Hood by Howard Pyle. Black Cats and Evil Eyes, a book of old-fashioned superstitions by Chloe Rhodes. 12 Angry Men by Reginald Rose. This next book I have in its original French and in an English translation, and that book is Le Petit Prince, or The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. I am learning French, but I have the pronunciation skills and the vocabulary of a French toddler, so please don't come at me. I'm trying my best. Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold. Next up, we have a couple of children's books by an author that I really hope you recognize, because if you didn't, I don't know what you were doing when you were little. You certainly weren't learning how to read in rhymes. I hate myself right now. We have Fox and Socks. The Cat in the Hat comes back. I don't know where my copy of The Cat in the Hat went. I think it might be in storage. My manager says it's time for a water break. Taz, you're my manager now. She doesn't care. She doesn't even know my name. Next we have Green Eggs and Ham and Green Eggs and Ham in Latin. I actually got this book from Sam a while ago. He went through with a bunch of sticky notes and translated everything. Before we move on though, have any of you guys read this book? This book was very important to me when I was little, and I remember it being horrifically difficult to read. This is a book you read aloud to find out just how smart your tongue is. The first time you read it, don't go fast. This fox is a tricky fox. He'll try to get your tongue in trouble. Let me see if I can get this. When a fox is in the bottle... I'm already messing up. When a fox is in the bottle where the Tweedlebeetles battle with their paddles in a puddle on a noodle-eating poodle, this is what they call a Tweedlebeetle noodle poodle, bottle, paddle, muddle, duddle, fuddle, wuddle, fox in socks, sir. Theodore, what were you thinking? Next, we have my box set of the complete works of William Shakespeare, not including the 2 collaborations he did after he wrote The Tempest. Those aren't in here. I don't know why. Maybe because the person who put this together wanted to be a super purist. But we have the comedies, romances, and poems, tragedies, and histories, all in 4 nice little volumes. And I love these, even though they smell weird. They smell very weird. I got them at a used bookstore. I didn't actually get them. I got them for a Christmas present, but they smell weird, and I love them. Weird smell and all. Next, we have Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Where the Sidewalk Ends by Shel Silverstein. Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. Nimona by Noelle Stevenson. So this next set of books is a set of books that I've been collecting since I was like 11. And I only recently finished it. So this is all 13 volumes of a series of unfortunate events by Daniel Handler, alias Lemony Snicket. The one that I got most recently was the Grim Grotto, aqua-colored one, that my finger can't quite reach. That is quite possibly, I think, the least popular book in the series, and that was why I couldn't find it anywhere for so long. Stargirl by Jerry Spinelli. The Help by Catherine Stockett. Dracula by Bram Stoker. Uncle Tom's Cabin by Harriet Beecher Stowe. Everyone's an Alien When You're an Alien Too. A book by Johnny Sun. The Art of War by Sun Tzu. The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne. Slaughterhouse-Five, or The Children's Crusade by Kurt Vonnegut Jr. Desert Discoveries by Ginger Wadsworth. I got this particular book at a visit to Death Valley with my family years and years and years ago, back when I was a little teeny tiny child and still really liked picture books more than I do now. I have not matured much. But this book was really cool. We got it in some sort of gift shop or something, and it goes through the entirety of one day. You can see the temperature and the clock. And it discusses what animals come out when and what some of their behavioral patterns are, and I thought it was just the coolest thing ever. Next we have Mastering Monologues and Acting Sides, How to Audition Successfully in Both Traditional and New Media by Janet Wilcox. Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. Our Town by Thornton Wilder. Tennessee Williams' The Glass Menagerie. I also have a streetcar named Desire, and I don't know where it is. That's a bit of a problem, I just realized that's missing. Next we have Hazel the Guinea Pig by A.N. Wilson. I Am Malala by Malala Yousafzai. I love this book. I love this book. I love this book. I love this girl. She's so cool. And last but not least, I have 2 books remaining. One of them is an anthology and the other one is a dictionary. So I don't know where else to put them, so they're here at the very end. We have my Norton Anthology of Drama, shorter 2nd edition. It is very well loved, despite the fact that I have only had it for less than a year. And last but not least, we have the New Cassell's French Dictionary. It goes from French to English and English to French. So if I ever get stuck on a word, ever, I can just whip this bad boy out and effectively look up what word I'm looking for. That's never gonna happen. At least I can try. So, those were all of my books, from N, which is actually an O, all the way to Z, which was actually just a Y. The second half of my library is much smaller than my first. Anyway, let me know in the comments below if you guys have ever read any of these books, especially Fox and Socks. Please tell me if you read Fox and Socks, because I suffered through that book a whole lot as a child. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!